So last lecture we go with the controlling of LED with the Raspberry Pi. So understanding the concept of the Python programming in Raspberry Pi. Now we continue with that one. So second, the statement in your syllabus is related with interfacing of LED and switch with Raspberry Pi. So we understand that concept clearly. So first we know that we need to be import some of the library uh, for the Raspberry Pi and the synchronization of the timing of Python. So we import Raspberry Pi.gpio. So that what we learn in last lecture related with LED interfacing. Same, just we go with the two parameters, that is LED and switch with Raspberry Pi. So then we set the GPIO mode. Know that to be a BCM number. So assign the whatever the Broadcom pin number to respect to that. So it will be used the GPIO dot set mode, which can be a GPIO dot BCM, which help to be a assign the pins of your um Raspberry Pi or Broadcom to a respective either LED or switch. Then we define the pin numbers. So we define one pin number, that is LED as pin equal to 88. So that can be assigned LED with a 18 pin number and switch with a 23 number. So that is the syntax for that one. So these are the syntax. Then we set up the LED pin as the output and switch pin as the input with pull down register. So how it can be done? Just look out. GPIO dot setup. We can set up LED pin as the output pin and GPIO dot setup switch pin and GPIO pin pull up down equal to GPIO dot PUD down. So how, what is the meaning of that one? We can understand that one. So it used to be a make as a LED pin will be a it is a output pin, and the, whatever the switch pin is a with a input pull down condition, right? So try. So we taking one condition, that is try while true if GPIO dot input switch pin is equal to GPIO dot high. If it is a high, that is the condition is, if it is a high, that time GPIO dot output LED GPIO dot high means LED should be a on. When switch condition, if GPIO dot in, that is in bracket switch pin is equal to GPIO dot high, if it is a high, when we apply the input is a high, that in that condition the LED should be a on. Else, if this condition not be a satisfy, or we say that GPI dot it should be a low, that condition the GPI dot output LED pin GPI dot low, it is a low, either voltage is a high or either voltage is a zero, that is a low. So LED should be a off. That that's expect the keyboard interrupts related parameter, and we can GPI dot cleanup, that is we can go return to the our whatever a reset parameter. So there is a two condition, one is related with the switch and second is related with the LED. If the input of the switch will be high, that in that condition LED should be on, and otherwise the LED should be off. So that can be explained in detail with that program. So we know that import RPI.GPI as GPI. That parameter we know that load the Raspberry Pi GPI library, so we can control the pins. Then we can import the Python timing model, so we can add a delay and or we say set sleep in our program. So then remaining is the GPI that set mode. We can set the broadcast chipset specific numbers. Then we give the number to the LED and switch. That is okay, but considering with that statement, it is a very important statement, that is GPI dot setup switch pin GPI dot in pull up down equal to GPI dot PUD down. So it configure the switch pin as the input. It configure the switch pin as a input, and pull up down equal to GPIO dot PUD down means the pin is normally low until the switch is a press. Switch is a press means we apply the voltage. If it is a high voltage, we say that switch is a press. Otherwise, if is the voltage low, we say that the switch will be a not press, or it should be have previous condition, whatever that one. So that indicate the parameter. So then we try condition, that is start a block where we shall run the main loop. So either the if input is low or if input is a high, that is whatever the you give the GPIO dot high, that time the switch will be on, and we say that LED will be a on, or switch will be a push and the LED will be a on. And if the it GPIO dot low, so we say that we does not pushing the switch, or we does not we provide the voltage to the 0 volt, so LED should be a off. So same like that parameter, only that switching parameter we have to consider for this one. So that concept is related with the interfacing of LED and switch with a Raspberry Pi. Same concept related with a explaining each and every parameter in here. GPIO dot output, that is LED pin GPIO dot high. So we say send a voltage to the LED pin, turning it's on. Else, if switch is not pressed, the turning the LED will be off. That concept will be a again explain that one. Then time dot sleep, that we taking a less time, that is a 0.1 a second. So that parameter will be a consider. Then expect keyboard interrupt. So that concept is related with catches the uh, critic signal, so that we can emit the whatever the parameter of that one, or we can excite the cleaningly parameter, and that return to all. So that is concept related with the LED and switch parameter. So last is one parameter is related with your syllabus, that is the interfacing of LDR with Raspberry Pi, that is line dependent resistor. That concept we have to understand. So before that we understand the concept of interfacing of LED and switch with Raspberry Pi, each one. So that two differences, one difference is that one we adding the switch and taking one condition with the switch, either the switch will be a press, or a switch will be a not be press, or we say that the high voltage is applied to the switch, or the low voltage will be applied. Depend upon the switch condition, the LED should be either on and off. So that need to be a reflect in your program. So we can control both one, that is LED and switch, with the combination of this process. In previous example, we go with only controlling of LED. So there is no parameter. We generally just apply the voltage. High voltage, the LED will be on. Low voltage, the LED will be off. But in second program, we give the dependency between that LED and switch. If the switch having has been pressed, that in that condition, the LED should be on, and if switch is not pressed, the we say that LED will be off. So we take a uh, while condition related with that, and we trying that condition while true. When this condition is a true, that and that condition, that parameter it will be a executed. So we say that if GPI dot input, that will be we taking input switch pin equal to GPI dot high. So it is a high voltage apply, meaning that it is a pressed. It is a pressed. If it is a pressed, that condition, the GPI dot output, that is LED pin dot GPI dot high, it should be a turning on off LED. Turning on off LED. If this condition is not true, that and that condition, we say that else the GPI dot output LED pin, that is GPI dot low, we say that LED should be a off. LED should be a off, and the time slip indicate only the delay between the on and off condition, right? And GPI dot cleanup will be a meaning of that one. We can reset the whatever the parameter of bed comms. That is a concept related with the parameter. So considering this parameter, so go with this also condition, that is the LED and the switch. First is related with the LED. So I say that rather than LED, you go with the switch and make a parameter that one. Then now we have to combine both parameter dependency. Depend upon the switch condition, we have to make the LED condition, right? So we say that both are dependent. Related with that, switch having a high output, that is GPIO high, that and that condition the switch is a say that as a press, and if it is a pressed, we say that LED will be a on, otherwise LED should be a off with some of the delay operation. So that concept, also try this program so you can understand properly how the LED and switch are controlled by a Raspberry Pi by using a Python. So these are related with the Python programming. We can understand that one. Go with a number of syntax. First, make a setup function. So initialize the whatever the library and other parameter required for that one. Then we go with a actual condition about the parameter. Deciding define the first LED pin, then switch pin, and then make a dependency of each other related with the that condition. So that is related with the Raspberry Pi for LED and switch controlling, right? So go and understand that concept. Go through the programming. Either you go with the online compiler, or maybe you have to set up that one in your system and execute this one by uh, taking this code, right? So this is a concept related that one.